And share screen. Any questions come up as we did exercises? Okay. See, you can unmute your device there, and I will through some sounds. This is da, 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 right here. So your point of focus is listening to lace sounds as best she can, and then respond to her, and see I will work with correcting you as we go. Can you see okay, Lacey? Somehow I don't hear you. Da, 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 da.
Oh, are you wanting me to do this?
I am
Sorry, I
correct.
didn't hear that. Okay.
I'm gonna
I could see it a
walk
minute
you
ago, but
through
I'm
it.
not seeing it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not seeing it
there we
now. There
go.
it is.
Okay. Lacey, can you read the top row?
Ooh.
Everybody. On to Lacey. So again, let's see, top row again.
I didn't hear what you said.
Do the top row again.
Uh, ooh.
Next row.
I, I'm not as good with these ones, but I'll try. Er, er, l.
Next row.
I,
This is
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
a, okay. Oh, that's okay. I'm not
It's,
sure why
yeah,
we're having trouble,
yeah. Let me check my connection.
but
My
we
connection's okay.
will, okay. Well, just go row by row, Lacey,
That,
but leave a gap for everyone to respond to. Do the best you can.
okay. Do you want me to start from the beginning then? Or from like the third row?
Yes,
Third row. Okay.
the beginning.
Okay. Ooh. R, l. I, O, ah, ka, ga, nya, cha, ja, nya, ta, da, na, ta, da, na, pa, ba, ma, Yara lava. Sa, sa, ha.
Great, Lacey. You can mute your phone. That was lovely. It's lovely to hear someone else's voice. And for the short time that you've been studying this, Lacey, it was really, really very well done. What shows up to work on are the aspirated, which means breath released sounds, compared to the unaspirated or the clicks. So you can all respond to me. This is the exercise. You put your hand in front of your mouth. Repeat after me. Ka, 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 ka. So we normally aspirate in English. So we actually need to learn to withhold the breath, to reserve energy. So it's almost like you're swallowing the sound. Don't allow breath to escape. We're looking in the blue. Ka, 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 ka. G, 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 ga. Ka, ka, ka. G, 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 ga. In two. You turn the tip of your tongue down. Cha, 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 cha. J, 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 ja. Position three, the tip of the tongue goes to the notch above your top teeth. It's not the roof of your mouth, nor is it the wall of your mouth. It's like that 45-degree approach between the wall and the roof. You put your tongue into that notch. Still use your hand in front of your face. Ta 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 ta. Ha. Ta 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 ta. Ha. D d d da. Now put the tongue at your teeth, not above your teeth, but right at your top teeth. And in front of your mouth. Ta 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 ta. D d d da. Then at the lips and hand in the pop 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 pop. Ha. B b b. Great job for today and all of the yoga stuff. Okay, Lee, I can see you. Can you hit a thumbs up? You can see the screen okay? So just looking for some audio from one of you that see the screen okay. If one of you could unmute your device and make sure that we're together here.
I could see the screen.
Okay. And are we all Libby, or is everything's going along okay?
What are you asking?
Hmm. Okay. I'll do the best I can here. So I'll do the best I can here. It may be imperfect. And sorry about that. This is where we left off last week. And Libby, I can see you. Can you give me the thumbs up that we're doing okay? Yeah? Okay. So the last sutra we did described the internal blocks. The internal blocks are to be overcome. And this sutra, you can respond to me. And your point of focus is at first just on my sounds, and then you making the sounds. So you can close your eyes for now. Vyadhi, Sthana, Sanshaya, Pramada, Alasya, Avirati, Bhranti Darshana, Alabdha Bhumigatva, Anastitatva, Anavastatattvani, Chitavikshepa, Te Antarayaha, Chitta Vikshepaha, Te Antarayaha, Chitta Vikshepas, Te Antarayaha, Chitta Vikshepas, Te Antarayaha, Chitta Vikshepas, Te Antarayaha, Vikshepas, Te Antarayaha, Chitta Vikshepas, Te Antarayaha, Vyadhi, Dhyana, Sanchaya, Pramada, Alasya, Avirati, Bhranti, Darshana, Alabdha, Bhumikatva, Anavastitatva, Anavastitattvani, Chitta Vikshepas, Tarayaha, Chitta Vikshepas, Tarayaha, Chittavikshepas taintarayaha. Chittavikshepas taintarayaha. What are the blocks that hinder my field of awareness or that pollute my screen, my mind screen? They are Vyadhi, Sthana, Sanshaya, Pramada, Alasya, Avirati, Bhranti, Darshana, Alabdha, Bhumikatva, Anavasitata. So now I'm going to just open to your questions. You had a week to reflect on these blocks and how they might show up in your life. You may or may not have the time to do that, but I want to make some space here in case someone had a reflection or a question. Okay. At the end of this sutra, we have the same blending that happens in the word namaste, which is actually a group of words, two words, namaste. So the breath sound changes to us because te is at the teeth. So vikshepaste comes kshate. And these ayaha, these blocks, are listed. They're good reflection. This is a good homework for you when you're bothered and see how am I doing with basic things like am I not feeling well, sickness, disease, or any tormenting person. Sthana means density, rigidity, or apathy. Sanshaya means fully doubting, right? Full of doubt or hesitation. Pramada means negligent behavior. Alasya means laziness. Avirati means intemperance and being impulsive. Brahmarshana means that my um, seeing is erroneous, but it literally is like this inability to stay present. And alabdha bhumikatva is not being grounded. And grounded here also refers to the practice. Am I not grounded in my practices? Meaning your yoga practices or your other lifestyle practices. And anavastitattva means that I'm not standing apart. I'm not standing apart from my past dramas. Am I not standing apart from the previous spinnings that happened in my life, the previous drama? So a really powerful sutra, an important one. I'm trusting that I can keep going. The third lists what happens when I encounter them. You can respond to me. Duhaka, duhaka, daurmanasya, daurmanasya, angamejayatva, angamejayatva, shvasa, prashvasa, vikshepa, sahabhuvaha, sahabuvaha, duhaka, daurmanasya, angame jayatva, shvasa, prashvasa, vikshepa, sahabuvaha, shvasa, prashvasa, vikshepa, sahabuvaha, vikshepa, sahabuvaha, duhaka, daurmanasya, angamayatva, shvasa, prashvasa, vikshepa, sahabuvaha. So the great thing about call and response teaching is there can't be any weighting of the mind. Duhaka daurmanasya, angame jayatva, shvas prashvasa, vikshepa, sahabuvaha. And what this means is that the blocks have these accompanying them. Sahabuvaha means to be with. Saha means, it's a prefix that means together with. Bhuvaha, to exist. These are what we encounter. Duhaka, you can say duhaka, duhaka, sukha, sukha, duhaka, duhaka, sukha, 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 duhaka. Sukha means in the groove, in the space. It means you're going on, you're going down the river of life. Duhaka, duhaka. So rather than going down the river of life, you're fighting the river of life. You're in a bad space. You're trying to cling to the tree on the side of the river, or you're trying to go upstream, where the river turns right, but you're turning left. Or another reference, sukha duhaka. Duhaka is you're bicycle and there's like a muddy trail, and you can go in that rut, like you can be in the groove, like if you're mountain biking, you can be in that groove. So you're right in the groove. Sukha, sukha, I'm going down the groove. Or duhaka, duhaka means bouncing in and out of that groove or that rut. Or an even easier reference is you're driving your four functional inflated tires. Sukha, 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 sukha. Or you're driving with a flat tire. Duhaka, duhaka, duhaka. So this is the way of life. Some people are literally just in a bad space all the time. In blocks. We have the same general prefix do, do, do. And the next word, dour manasya. Dour manasya means a bad mind. So having a depressed, bad mind. Angamejayatva means shaking of the limbs. And shvasa prashvasa vikshepa means that there's disruptions in the inhale and the exhale. So there's disturbed breathing. Libby, can you give me a thumbs up that we're doing okay? It's a little delayed. Yep, okay. Thank you. This is a very important sutra. So this is the sutra that we'll go home with. We're going to cover a couple more today. but this is the sutra that I want you to remember that will have as a homework. You can respond to me. Tat pratishedha artam eka tattva abhyasa tat pratishedha artam eka tattva abhyasa tat pratishedha artam tat pratishedhartam eka tattva abhyasa eka tattvabhyasa eka tattvabhyasa eka tattva abhyasa eka tattvabhyasa tat pratishedha artam tat pratishedhartam eka tattva abhyasa ekayasa tat pratishedhartam ekatatvabhyasah tat pratishedhartam ekatatvabhyasah. And what the sutra says is so beautiful. It says, prevention of these, prevention of these disruptions, of these sufferings, comes from the practice of a single true thing. It doesn't mention, exactly what one truth has to be. But whatever suffering is happening, abhyasa, which is a reference back to the 12th Yoga Sutra, abhyasa, vairagya, tad, nirodha, abhyasa, vairagya, so practice, and the state of non-preference. I do my practice without preference. I do my practice without looking for results. From that, the internal stopping back, nirodha. And here, it's reinforcing that a practice can be any one true principle, eka tattva. Traditionally, very few people would have pursued the jnana or the knowledge path, like you all are studying right now, Sanskrit and Sanskrit grammar. Just any path, the path of dance, the path of music, the path of action. Any true principle or true path is considered to be a way to stop the suffering. The challenge that so many Westerners have in our wealthy, developed countries, especially as things have become increasingly secular meaning that there's not any faith-based home for people. It's that there are too many choices, and there's not a sense of what is a true principle or a true path. And we don't find something that is absorbing for the mind early enough in life, or we don't stick with it, or we don't have parenting or schooling that sees our native gifts and then sees that as a possibility to pursue. Traditionally, for example, the pursuit of music is not just becoming great at a particular musical instrument, but it's a path to samadhi, a path to absorption for the mind. And that's what's being spoken of here, is one true principle that guides the mind to absorption. That's the first chapter we're working on, samadhi. So again, the sutra for your homework, this 30-second sutra, you can repeat after me. Tat pratishedha artam eka tattva abhyasaha. Tat pratishedha artam eka tattva abhyasaha. I'm going to keep going. Some of you will have heard me teach this sutra before. The first true principle that's do relationship life. So your point of focus can be my sounds. Hopefully they're coming through. If they're not coming through clearly, I apologize. And I applaud you for trying to stick through here. If you need, you can also look at the red care that might help, or the black with orange characters below. Maitri, Maitri, Karuna, Karuna, Mudita, Mudita, Upeksha, Upeksha, Sukha, Duhaka, Punya, Apunya, Vishaya, Vishayana, Bhavana, Bhavana, Chitta, Prasadanam, Chitta, Prasadanam, Chitta, Prasadanam, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, Anam, Sukha, Duhaka, Punya, Apunya, Vishaya, Anam, Bhavanata, Chitta, Prasadanam. This beautiful sutra gives an example of one true principle or one true practice. And that is to examine how you walk around other people. Chitta prasadanam means the purification of my field, my mind field. And some of you would know prasada as that blessing that we take at the end of a puja or a sacred ritual. Oftentimes there's some fruit or sweets that are offered to God. And at the end of a long ritual, we then take that prasada and the tradition, the leaven that we go up and get. And some people that drink the wine too. But the prasada is this clarification or purification or blessing of the mind field, chitta prasadanam. And what's said here, there are four things listed: Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, plural of these several things: Sukha, Duhaka, Punya, Apunya, Vishaya, Anam. So again, I have that same ending. And that is saying that of those things, of those four things that are listed, Vishaya means object. I've got four things that can be cultivated with four kinds of people or four kinds of behavior. When I encounter Sukha, someone who's in a good space. You remember we covered this in a previous sutra. When I encounter someone in a good space, Sukha, I can cultivate Maitri. So be friends with them. If someone's in a good space, be with them, hang out with them, pick up on it, be in good company. Someone's in a good space, be with them. If you encounter someone who is duhaka, in a bad space, someone who is suffering, then cultivate karuna, compassion. We do this in NVC, nonviolent communication. When we hear someone complaining or hearing someone, or we can guess, sounds like you're feeling sad. Or we might guess at their need. Or like, sounds like the need for connection. Sounds like you have a need for independence. Further, we might clarify rather than taking on someone's suffering, it's saying here, practice passion. And then sometimes we need to set a boundary. But we can, when we encounter someone in a bad space, duhaka, we can practice compassion. When we encounter someone who is punya, doing virtuous action, then we practice mudita, elation. So if we see someone doing virtuous action, we can say, wow, that's all. Thank you so much. Oh, great. Whereas we doing up non-virtuous or negative action, we can practice what is called upeksha. Upeksha means to witness it, to be neutral, and also to be able to see above it. And those of you that are parents have to do this all the time. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and there's a lot of non-virtuous negative behavior happening. I have to try doing my best to stay neutral, to not get sucked into it, not sucked into the negativity, and to rise above it and not see my child as a bad child, but to see it as a bad action. And so frequently, when my 2-year-old, who's learning to express himself, is trying to hit his away from his older sister, something that she had, I have to do my best not to get angry. When he has he's destroying the trailer screen or scratching the table, I have to do my best to remember he doesn't know any better. So I have to rise above it. But I need to witness it. I need to say something. But how I say it's important. I need to say it in a way that doesn't make him be the object that he's bad or horrible. I have to say something like, oh, no, 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 we don't scratch tables. Let's use the fork to do this. Or, oh, yeah, fork wasn't a great idea by Daddy. Let's use a spoon. Or I have to say, oh, you're excited about what sister has in her hand. You're excited about that? Let's see if we can find you something that you're excited about so she can keep holding that. So this is basically the kind of behavior that we also have to do out in the world with grown people who are practicing non-virtuous things, is remember that they are still just grown child inside. And so frequently there's needing to witness what they're doing. Saying, oh, you're so agitated that you're hitting this person. Well, what's going on? What is it that you need? Or, it's not so freaky adults hitting each other, but we see adults doing non-virtuous things. So we witness it. Like my friend Ryan whose brother was a firefighter, used to see people flicking their cigarette butts and he'd say, hey, you dropped your cigarette, which was his way of just witness naming it. Or I drive around here and I'm on the peninsula, Washington, the Olympic National Park, and there aren't a lot of law enforcement, but there are right below the speed limit signs, there are the speed limit cameras to show you how you're actually driving. So this is the practice of upeksha. You're neutrally uh, giving feedback on what's happening. So this is also a really, really cool and important sutra. I love this sutra. I use it a lot in teaching. I'm now going to stop sharing the screen for just a minute because I'm concerned about our connection. So let me return to the world of you people. And I'm going to ask if there are any questions or comments on what we've just learned. Okay. How about let's see, Kim, can you unmute your microphone just so I can hear you?
Sure.
How's it been going, Kim? Have you been able to hear me okay?
Yeah. I mean, there's some delays, but for the most part, I've been able to hear everything.
I'm going to try going outside and see if that helps with the delay here. Anything come up for you, Kim, as I was teaching these sutras?
Oh yeah. um, lots. Just in how parenting and remaining neutral. Uh, it's not always easy, but yeah.
And we may not have thought, Kim has worked with me quite a bit, right, Kim?
Yeah.
Kim and I speak pretty regularly about the life of Kim. So Kim, as I'm walking outside here, can you hear me a little bit better now?
Uh,
So one of the things, Kim, that we work on, and me, you and I, we work on together is about how the relationship life that's playing out is no accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we use whatever's showing up in your current life as an opportunity for you to clarify your own mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this sutra uh, encodes and embodies a lot of the work that the two of us have been doing.
Definitely.
It
Yeah.
says Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Apunya, Vishaya, Anam. And what it's saying is, and as I've worked with you, Kim, when people are in a good space, be around them. So I have encouraged you to create a daily and weekly routine to make sure that you're around people that are in a good space.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when people are dukkha in a bad space,
Mm-hmm.
I've encouraged you to put on karuna. Karuna means compassion.
Mm-hmm.
So, without naming any names in your life, there are a
Mm-hmm.
couple people who are really challenged
Mm-hmm.
that I've encouraged you to put on your compassion hat, right?
Right.
And actually, for you to put on your weekly and daily calendar, the practice of compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Then punya, meritorious action, practicing elation. So, because I think it's pretty neutral to mention your husband, I've said, we know that he's been in a really challenged situation.
Mm-hmm.
So let's, give him some props like, hey, I think it's wonderful that you're willing to do this. Way to
Mm-hmm.
go, because it's even though it's maybe you're not getting them, you're not receiving them as much or whatever, we're not talking about anything comparative. Feels to you, Kim, to remember to to give your husband the props for the last thing, apunya, dismeritus action, is the
Mm-hmm.
practice of witnessing neutrally and naming things that show up. So this sutra is a wonderful way of encapsulating the basic therapeutic process, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to return to screen sharing um, because I think we're doing okay, unless someone else has a question for me. Kim, you can mute your microphone again, and we'll practice that 30-second sutra, which is your homework. And the reason it's your homework is because from day to day, some of you might not make it into the yoga, or you might miss your meditation practice, lay sun, soccer things. This sutra says, and you can respond to me, tat pratishedha artam eka tattva abhyasah. Tat pratishedha artam eka tattva abhyasah. Saying that to clarify your minds, to get out, to eliminate the obstacles, to get out of the suffering. I can practice any one true thing, any one true practice. So wherever you are, you have your breath. You can close your ears, close your eyes, and just go into your breath. The sound of your own voice is one true principle. There'll be many more that are listed here. But even just looking at the colors of whatever's around you and appreciating color itself as light is a single true practice. That's your homework. I'm going to go back to sharing screen here, and we'll cover some more sutra. And Kim, I think we've got your video there. You can close it off if you'd like.
I didn't hear you.
We've got your video on. You can cancel it if you'd like. The 34th Sutra gives us a practice, as I mentioned. Prachardana, Vidharana, Abhyam, Va, Pranasya, Prachardana, Vidharana, Abhyam, Va, Pranasya. And this sutra says or. Va means or. I can hold or restrain or rest in the full empty place or the full place. So there's the top of the inhale, which is like a balloon suspended. And there's the bottom of the exhale, which is like I go underwater. And I just rest peacefully underwater. So these two places are considered sacred places to rest. And just resting at either one of them, and that's important. It's not a strain in any way. Naturally remain buoyant at the top of the inhale, or I rest at the bottom of the exhale. This will clarify chitta, field of awareness. The next sutra, you can repeat after me. Vishaya Vati Va Vritti Utpanna Manasaha Stiti Nibandhana Vishayavati pravritti uttanna manasah stiti nibandhani. This sutra has at the end the same prefix ni that some of you have become familiar with, like yama, niyama. Yama are the codes of conduct towards others and the environment, and niyama are the codes of conduct towards myself. And here we have bandha, which is a bind or a hold, and we have nibandha, which means I hold within. And it means that I'm holding within or fixing within. Stiti means steady, it's very similar. Manasaha means of the mind. A refined or subtle vishaya, object that has arisen. So in the previous week, Kim and I were sharing about the challenges of meditation and how there's often a desire to get to some other place in meditation. One of the keys that's given here in this suit that in refined activity, trust anything you feel that comes during your practice that feels like it's coming from within. You know, share it with others. No, whatever happens for you, some refinement or refined activity or cognition that comes to you, hold it dear, hold it inside, keep it sacred, keep it simple, trust it. And I think that's the key thing that the sutra, what comes to me is that frequently as people begin the inner practices of yoga, there's a lot of self-doubt. Trust what you feel. Trust what's happening. Trust what's guiding you within and guiding you home. Don't doubt it. And keep it in. Keep it sacred. The 36th sutra is fairly simple. You can work after me. Vishoka va jyoti mati jyoti mati jyotishmati vishoka va jyotishmati. This sutra says, or any light bearing or luminous and sorrowless focus of the mind. And this is great as we consider activity during the day for the mind. I broke the word jyotishmati into jyoti, which many of you know as light or luminosity. We do the chant Om Sato Ma Satgamaya tamasoma jyoti gamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. So we have jyoti, lead me to the light, the luminous, from tamas, the dull. So here it's saying anything that is light bearing without sorrow, sorrowless, vishoka. We're gonna skip ahead. No, we should do the sutra because it has to do with preference and attachment. Vita, raga, vishayam, va, chittam, vitaraga, vishayam, va, chittam, vitaraga, vishayam, va, chittam. This sutra is telling us that we can also choose as one true principle, eka tattva, abhyasa. We can practice one true principle. One true principle would be finding the things that we know create raga within us, preference, attachment, a particular limited coloring, a preference. And we can choose an object that helps us transcend that. So we can choose something that we know helps us to transcend one of our preferences. Some of this has to do with choosing an environment that we know will help us transcend. But some of it also means, for example, in the company of others, especially others that we are frequently around, our partners, our family, our coworkers. If we know that there's a particular behavior or a particular circumstance that tends to create a reaction or a preference within us, we can choose to focus on something different, choose to focus on a different quality. It's a clarifying principle in relationship life to arrive at our most common relationships as if they were brand new. Not in a way of being a doormat or being a subject to things that we've seen in patterning in the past, but to arrive with the potential for it to be completely different, as if we are not holding up the other half of a shape that the two of us or the group of us tend to make. So I think this is a fine place to end for this week. We covered quite a few sutra, a review of your homework. Respond to me. Tat pratisheda artam eka tattva abhyasaha. With that, I'm going to stop the share and see your eyes. I know that I can see you all, but there we are. Do your very best this week to check back in with the Sanskrit alphabet and the sutras we studied. Blessings on your evening. Thanks so much for being with me.